All right, folks, my producer reached out to Bethune-Cookman Board President, Board Chair, retired Judge Belvin Perry Jr., and this is what he said before he hung up on her. He said, pull it up, please. He said, quote, "I will not come on with Roland Martin, who has been telling a one-sided story with students who have been put up to this by Charles W. Cherry II, a disbarred attorney, and Johnny McCray Jr., who was president of the old Alumni Association. I'm done. Goodbye." Board President Perry, you are lying. Let me be fundamentally clear. You are lying. You, as a retired judge, should know better. You can't say I've been telling a one-sided story when the first guest we had on the show on Monday was interim president Lawrence Drake. He literally was first. He was followed by Ed Reed, who told his story. He was followed by 3 football players. He was followed by McCray, who leads the Alumni Association that y'all dissolved. And yes, we had Cherry. We then followed that up on yesterday, talking with other alumni, as well as the student government president, the student government vice president, Miss Bethune-Cookman elect, Mr. Bethune-Cookman elect. And then we had 5 students on today. We also have made calls to several board members, and none of y'all will answer your phones or come on the show. And so how can you say it's a one-sided story when you won't even come on? So first, you lied. And then if you say that, oh, here's the other thing you lied about. You said that these students were being put up by Cherry. Again, President Board Chair Perry, you are lying. I received emails, not from Cherry, not from McCray, but directly from the students. They emailed me saying, please, can we come on? So how can you say that they're putting the students up when the students are reaching out to me directly? When you have staff members of Bethune-Cookman who are reaching out to me directly? When you have alumni of Bethune-Cookman who are reaching out to me directly? When you have parents of Bethune-Cookman who are reaching out to me directly? What I need to understand, Board Chair Perry, how in the hell am I talking to more students, faculty, staff, and alumni of Bethune-Cookman than you are, and you are the board chair? So maybe instead of lashing out at black-owned media and hanging the phone up, why don't you, Board Chair Perry, have the courage and the guts to speak to your constituents and not hide behind your title? Because what I will not allow for you to do is besmirch my name or the integrity of this show. You cannot suggest, and you would know if you were a judge, and if somebody lied in your courtroom, you will either say overruled or sustained. And the fact of the matter is, you cannot say it's one-sided when your own president has come on this show. Your own president, Board Chair Perry, has invited me to come visit Bethune-Cookman again. And I will gladly travel to Daytona Beach with my cameras and see the campus for myself. The question is, are you going to allow him to accept or follow through on the invitation? Let me bring in my my panelists right here who join us right now. Michael Harriet is still with us. Robert Patillo, he is the host of People, Passion, Politics, News and Talk, 1380 WAOK in Atlanta. Rebecca Carruthers, Vice President of Fair Election Center. Joe Richardson, he is a civil rights attorney. And so again, they join us. I must say, Robert, again, we talk all the time about integrity, character, honor, credibility, and transparency. And for the board president, the board chair, to be completely dismissive of what all of these students are saying, and they literally, Robert, I can't tell you, the emails are pouring in from them. That's the kind of arrogance they are talking about.
Well, Roland, I wish this was new and I wish this was isolated. But as Michael said, this is endemic in small universities around the country, and this goes back decades. Ever tell you about the time I got expelled from college for something very similar back in 2004 when we were trying to organize campus workers against our then president at Clark Atlanta, Walter Broadnax, and they literally expelled me from school until Reverend Jackson stepped in to get me back in and help me graduate. This is something that happens, and now that we have social media, now that we have access to the internet, now that we have black media such as your show and the Black Star Network, we can bring these things to light. But this is nothing new. This is nothing different. And I'm glad that these students are standing up and fighting for the change that is necessary, because nothing will improve on campuses until the students push those issues going forward. You're not supposed to shut up and sit down and get in line. That's not what students are for. Students are meant to push the agenda and push for the social change that is necessary. You cannot train a generation of revolutionary leaders and then be surprised when they become revolutionary leaders on campus. I'll support the students and whatever they need. I will extend assistance. Feel free to reach out to me also. But we have to ensure that the students are getting what they pay for on campus and that they are given the resources needed to succeed. It's almost like that old parable of the black-owned restaurant. They're simply supposed to accept less because they're black-owned. You don't accept less than conditions or education at HBCU just because they are black-owned. That means you are trying to push for even more excellence, not for lower standards.
And here's the deal, Rebecca. The board president, board chair, he don't have to talk to me. But when you won't even talk to your own constituents, that's a problem.
In my personal and professional capacity, I partner and do a lot of work with HBCUs across the country. What was very concerning, even hearing it with Monday night's coverage, is the forced disbandment of the National Alumni Network. And yes, I heard that it was because of accreditation and making it a direct service organization. But that doesn't require disbanding the current structure. It just requires of transitioning and doing more hand in glove work with the university. And so the thing about HBCU culture is that alumni networks are paramount. Student engagement is also paramount. So to also hear from the students that they have never met with the president or they haven't met with the president since early August, definitely before the Hurricane Ian hit campus, that's also concerning, because the thing that we know about SGAs, student government associations on HBCU campuses, is that they are considered an integral part of campus administration. So if a major part of your campus administrator isn't meeting with your chief administrator, with the campus president, there's something that's horribly going wrong at Bethune-Cookman.
Joe, Trustee John Crossman, we did talk to him, said he did not feel comfortable speaking individually he did not feel comfortable speaking individually for the board, that any communication should be coming from the chair. Well, first of all, you're not speaking for the board, you're speaking for yourself as a member of the Board of Trustees. But he's saying again that should not come on. There was, let's see here. We have Delancey. Let me pull up here. Because again, there are several people who we reached out to talk about this whole issue. Because again, wanted to be able to have these conversations. Robert Delancey, who is a member of the Alumni Association, he also claimed, see, this is what I'm saying. Here you got Robert Delancey tells my producer, we are telling a one-sided story. So we said, come on the show. This is what he said. He was eager to come on the show, but then decided it wasn't in the best interest of the university. Now, how your ass gonna say we telling a one-sided story, but then giving you the opportunity to come on and give so-called the other side, then you cut and run saying, oh, it's not in the best interest of the university. That's a weak-ass response, Joe.
No doubt about it. If I was a parent of a child at Bethune-Cookman, here's where I would start. And it's not even that deep, to be honest with you. It's superficial. Celebrate my birthday tomorrow. Here's how I'm going to celebrate. I'm turning 26 in my mind. Here's how I'd celebrate. Let's fix the mold. That's my problem. My kid can't be safe on campus. Some of our children come from unsafe situations. They were supposed to go to college for things to get better, to get a sense for how things could actually be. Not to say that there aren't problems, kids, mental health and all these types of things. But listen, one of your problems on your college campus is not supposed to be your hat being molded. At the end of the day, we are out of, you said, the one brother said he wouldn't be comfortable getting on camera and having a discussion. We are beyond comfortable conversation territory. There are two things here that are important, a lot of things, but I'll focus on two. One is competence. The other one is transparency. If you are competent, I don't care how much money you gave at the beginning. I don't care who you know. If you are competent, you aren't competent, you don't know what you're doing. You have no business, or should I say, you ain't got no business, like my grandmother used to tell me, on the board of trustees or running the reins of power. And at the very least, whatever you do, okay, if I don't want to talk to Roland Martin, okay, Roland Martin, he's kind of tough. He didn't go to HBCU, this and that and the other, whatever else. I would be talking to my students.
Right.
He's not even doing that. There's no good reason.
Hey, Michael, check this out. Again. Yeah. So Michael, check this out. Literally 8 minutes ago, this email arrived. Could you give me a call about the corruption of faculties taking money over the years at BCU? I was a football player there, and it is still going on. I have some mind-blowing stuff to tell you before you go there to that meeting, stuff you should know and questions you should ask. Did somebody put that person up to call? Got his name and his phone number.
Yeah, so this is what we see with reporting with me. When they say you're telling a one-sided story, like, are you supposed to find who didn't see the mold, or what's the story? Like, who say ain't no mold on campus? Like, what are you supposed to do to make two sides of a story even, right? Like the corruption on campus, the financial situation. We've all seen it.
It's real simple. It's real simple, Michael. If the students say we got homeless folks walking across the campus, okay, are they walking across? It's either yes or no. If the man, Ed Reed said the gates were locked, the gates were broken. Is the gate broken or is it not broken? It's only two damn answers. Let's see. Mold, not mold. But remember, the president said it was mildew, not mold.
Oh, better.
Well, it's a different kind of fungus that's growing on the campus. And so I don't know what you're supposed to do to present both sides of the story. Say, well, there's not mildew in every room. It's just some of the rooms. Crackheads walking across campus every minute. Is just sometimes all the gates aren't broken, just the ones that the people can come through off of the streets. Like, I don't know how, and I will say, Roland, like, I've spoken before to Mr. Penn, Mr. Delancey, and like what we see, like, they don't understand that when you're trying to get out of the story, some stories don't have two sides. Either something happened or it didn't. And I don't know why you would bring somebody who didn't know what those students were talking about.
Hold tight 1 second.
I'm
already into the break. I do want to hold y'all for one more segment because I want to focus next on, again, black on black accountability, because that also is a part of this. This thing is, how dare you talk about these issues? Well, how in the hell do we address them if we don't? All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.